Right now, President Trump issues threats to Iran after the ceasefire is confirmed to be over.
And I'm tracking a great weekend forecast, plus I'll let you know how hot it gets next week.
And later, one local artist is sharing her talent, how you can paint your own pop art portrait. Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us this weekend. I'm your anchor, Michelle Renee Quinn.
And I'm Jason Carlson. You are watching Weekend Mornings. Today is Saturday, July 11th.
Yes, and it is a beautiful day. You've got a beautiful forecast ahead of us. I'm so excited just looking outside. It's gorgeous. What should people know as they're heading out?
Yeah, you can't do much better than this. There isn't too much snow. Just make sure you grab those sunglasses on the way out this morning. We got 65 right now at the Dodgeville Upland Hills Skycam, and it's a great day out there, nice and sunny, and that sun's going to stick around all day today. And we did have some fog this morning. We're seeing that start to burn on off. So Eau Claire, it's burned off. Camp Douglas, it's starting to burn off for you guys. But there is still some in that Wisconsin River Valley off towards Prairie du Chien. You guys still have some fog as you head outside for your Saturday morning. But it's going to be a great day out there. Planning it out for lacrosse. Going to start out around 70 as you walk out that door. 80 as we get towards that lunch hour if you're grilling. It's going to be a great day for that. Anything at the art fair as well. We get up to that high of 86, and then the rest of the weekend is gorgeous. It stays very nice for Sunday, but I'm tracking a warm-up as we go into next week. I'll let you know how hot it gets coming up soon.
Thanks, Jason. In today's top stories, you're taking a look at the White House right now. President Trump issued a new threat to Iran last night. Now, earlier, he wrote on social media the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is over. However, as CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette reports, peace talks are continuing.
President Trump posted on Truth Social late Friday, writing, quote, 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran if the Iranian government assassinates or attempts to assassinate him. His threat comes after calls for Trump's murder at the funeral of Iran's supreme leader this week. Sources tell CBS News Iranian officials will take part in discussions today in Oman about the Strait of Hormuz and commercial ships traversing the crucial waterway. After the U.S. and Iran traded strikes this week, the Trump administration asked Iranian officials to publicly state the Strait of Hormuz is open and its attacks on ships have ended. The U.S. is blaming the strikes on divisions within Iran's government, initiated by, quote, radicals in their system who are trying to derail the negotiation. Tehran says it's not responsible.
The United States bears full international responsibility for all legal and political consequences arising from its unlawful action.
Sources tell CBS News Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, are speaking with Qatari mediators.
Both sides do have an interest in not returning to the level of intensity that we saw in March and April.
Iran continues to maintain it should control the Strait of Hormuz, a non-starter for the U.S. in negotiations. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
President Trump also wrote in his post last night that the U.S. military would completely decimate and destroy all area of Iran if the country attempts an assassination. Back to local news this morning, family members have identified 2 of the 3 children killed after a boat capsized on Lake Geneva during the 4th of July weekend. They are 6-year-old Caleb Oswald and 7-year-old Abigail Oswald, who were trapped inside the boat after a fast-moving storm overturned it. The tragedy has sparked an outpouring of support from the town and community. Nationwide, a GoFundMe has raised nearly $187,000, with the family saying the money will be donated to the children's charity in the siblings' memory. The Janesville School District's board is set to discuss the future of water-damaged Washington Elementary, but there will not be a vote. On Monday, Superintendent Mark Holzman met with members of Save Washington School for a closed-door meeting to discuss the future plans. Later that day, the district published an announcement saying they are, quote, pausing all major decisions about the future of Washington Elementary. Holzman says he's prioritizing a thoughtful approach over a rushed decision.
We have no interest in closing an elementary school. We had a natural disaster, but sometimes we also have to look at it beyond just the effects of one building and what does it look like for our entire district, our entire budget, and the district moving forward, not just next year, 27, but 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, and how that might incorporate the needs we have in our facilities in the district.
The district also announced it is on track for students at Adams, Washington, and Madison elementary schools to learn about their teacher assignments in August. This month, our Time for Kids, a Recipe for Health campaign is looking at harvesting health with fruits, vegetables, and this week's tip, celebrate the season. That's with summer here, families can take advantage of fresh, seasonal produce now abundant at farmers markets and grocery stores across the region. Madison DeMorit, a registered dietitian with SSM Health, says locally grown fruits and vegetables offer more than just great taste. She says produce picked at peak ripeness can have more nutrients and flavor than items that travel long distances. With more supply available during the season, she says prices are often lower, and for busy families watching their budgets, she recommends buying extra when prices are low and using that produce throughout the week.
Start by going to the local places, right? Your local farmer's market, farm stand, or grocery store, and just see what is available and accessible and looks appealing, right? And then definitely try to, plan your meals and your snacks kind of around that availability.
She suggests keeping the approach simple, add fresh fruits to breakfast or snacks, and incorporate vegetables into lunch and dinner meals. And the 54th annual Catfish Days are back this weekend. Fishermen can compete for prizes for biggest catfish length and biggest stinger of up to 10 fish. Now, the top catch takes home a $2,000 cash prize. It runs through tomorrow with live music, a car show, golf tournament, and the grand parade Sunday afternoon. Let's check in now with your certified most accurate forecast. Jason has that. Good morning. If people are headed out there, is it a good time to go?
Yeah, it's a fantastic day for anything, for those catfish. If you're hitting the farmer's market that got moved to Bree Stevens Field, out at the Mallard Stadium, it's fantastic out there. It's reaching 70 out there, and there's a little breeze out of the north. It's going to be fantastic today. But as we move into next week, we have alert days out. We're going to have heat coming back. We're going to have temperatures in those 90s and feels like temperatures nearing triple digits as we go through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So looking at that risk from the heat, we're going to have a moderate risk, major in some spots as the dew points are low, but our temperatures get warm enough anyway. We get into the 90s. So with those high temperatures, we will have risk for those heats. And we'll see that peak with a 92 on Tuesday.
Yeah, Jason, we've definitely got some hot days coming up.
Hot days. The humidity's a little lower than last go around, and we do have cooler temperatures overnight, but still going to be hot. Still want to change those plans, get yourself some rest from that heat.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Now, earlier this week, I had the pleasure of sitting down with a local artist, Brooklyn Dobie, and she is Art House 360's artist in residence this month, and her work will be on display throughout the month of July. So we sat down to talk about her upcoming pop art self-portrait class.
Part of doing a self-portrait is just to depict every insecurity you have and to just see yourself in a new light in a beautiful way.
So what is it, the one takeaway that you want somebody to have from coming to these events?
Inner healing, I think. I think the world is so heavy right now that we all need a safe space to feel like we can express ourselves without judgment. And I think this is the opportunity to not only reflect on yourself and your life, but just giving grace to everyone in the world.
The full interview is next after the break.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. Joining me now is a local artist who we are spotlighting with some special events coming up this month. Brooklyn Dobie is joining me. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. It's such a pleasure. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I've seen you out in the community, the mental health fair. There's a lot of different crafty fairs that you've been, and your work really stands out. So what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur for going into almost 7 years now. I have an art therapy background, so I've just had a passion for community and helping others heal creatively, and so that's why I do my art. Yeah, I just want to inspire somebody and just connect with everyone that I can through art. So I'm hosting self-portrait classes with Art House 360 this month. It'll be a 2-part class, and this is an opportunity to, if you've ever wanted a commission piece by me or you've ever wanted to put your artistic skills to the test, this will be a chance to just fellowship with everyone, to feel beautiful, handsome, to have fun, to explore every feature that you have and see yourself in a different light, to have dialect around art therapy as well, as that is in my background.
Do you have a moment when you were like, this is more than just a passion, like this is what I want my career to be like? Is there a defining moment where you were like, art is more for me?
Yes, so I've always loved art like my whole life, but I don't think I really started taking it very passionately until maybe about high school for sure, but I really started to like art in middle school. I actually grew up in Verona School District, so it's only like, it's kind of a coincidence that I'm doing something in Verona with Art House 360. I think in high school, my freshman year, I was kind of feeling defeated in my art, but then a teacher actually bought one of my paintings, and I was like, oh, that's so inspiring. Maybe I can stick this out. I've always wanted to help people in life, and so I went to Edgewood College for art therapy. I haven't done anything with the therapy aspect since I graduated in 2020, but that's still a dream goal of mine, is to give back to communities, specifically communities of color, because there's so many stigmas and trauma surrounding therapy, and I want to provide healthy outlets and creative outlets using my passion for art to heal.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when you put your art into this work, like obviously we have multiple people of color in your art. What does it mean to you to be able to represent in this way?
Well, I just feel like there's not enough positive imagery of people of color in the world. So my goal as an artist is I only paint people of color because I want that community to see themselves and their reflection in my art, and to view themselves in a positive outlet, in a beautiful way, in a mindset, and to just know that they are loved and they belong in the world, and yeah, to just see themselves in every piece that I make.
People who come out to your event to paint self-portraits, that's happening on July 22nd, and then it's a two-part class, so then July 29th as well.
Yes.
Both Wednesdays. Now, for people who come out, can they expect to have, obviously, we're not you, but can they expect to learn a little bit more about like color theory? Like what teaching aspects are you kind of offering?
Yeah, so it will be, you will submit a photo. If you sign up for the class, you will be submitting a photo, and I will be essentially drawing out the canvas for you, so that, because otherwise we need more than just 2 classes to get it done. But I will be drawing out the outline, and it'll be kind of like a paint by numbers in my artistic style. So yeah, it'll be more like informational, but also it'll be kind of just free flow, and whatever you think looks good. You don't have to paint yourself in your actual skin tone. You can paint yourself in shades of green, pink, yes, any color, your favorite. And I'll also have your photos there for you to look at yourself, and mirrors in case you want to add something that you don't see.
You can learn more about Dobie and her classes with the story at channel3000.com. We have a link to register there. And again, this class is open for all genders and all backgrounds. Dobie emphasizes the inclusivity of this event. You just have to be 17 or older. Classes are $85 and there are scholarship offers, so be sure to check it out if this is something for you. Let's check in now on your temperatures. Meteorologist Jason Carlson is live from our studio in Madison with your full forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one as we move into next week. Monday through Wednesday, we have alert days, and that's because temperatures are going to be nearing in those 90s, and it's going to feel like close to triple digits in those upper 90s. So you want to plan your outdoor activities accordingly as we push off into next week. As we'll see, the risk from heat is going to be moderate to major, so it's going to be in that range where if you don't take those precautions, you might have to battle with heat exhaustion or hopefully not heat stroke. So make sure you take those precautions and don't do strenuous activities. Move your runs inside, bring extra water to your sports events or work. And we'll see that heat risk start to reduce as we go towards Wednesday and Thursday, but it's still going to be hot outside. There still is that risk from that heat. For our high temperatures, we're going to see very nice this weekend. It's going to be summery, 86, 87. But as we go into the middle of this week, those dew points go up a little bit, so it will be a little bit sticky. Nothing like last heat wave, but this time, or as we go towards Tuesday, 92, and we'll see those dew points nearing 70 in those lower 70s, so it will feel close to 100. And that's going to be due to a new heat dome. We have this big high pressure system that's going to cause air to sink. That does 2 things. That warms it and prevents clouds from forming. So we're going to have a lot of sun as this big high pressure system makes us hot over this entire next week. We see that ridge stick around with us. As you go towards your Saturday, though, we'll bring you the good news. We got 86 and sunny skies. It's going to be comfortable, a great day to get out there if you're going to the art fair, have the farmer's market. If you're going to go to anything outside, it's going to be fantastic. And if you're heading to the beach, all those beaches are open currently here in Madison. So it's going to be a great day to get out there. And this week, you might really need to get down to the water, go for a swim as we battle those higher temperatures. As we look into the long term, it's going to be dry. We have a dry week and a dry next week. Looking ahead to our folks at the Climate Prediction Center have a dry outlook for us. So we're going to watch maybe some drought conditions trying to form as we see the beautiful weekend out there in the cross. You guys are also going to be warm, 91 Tuesday, 90 on Wednesday. But as we look towards next week, stays in those 80s. We get out of those 90s. Similar story here in Madison. Great summer weekend out there. Then we get to those alert days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Do take precautions now. Hopefully we're giving you enough time to change your plans, switch up what you got planned for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And then as we move towards the end of the week, we might see that heat go down, but we also see some rain chances sneaking back into the forecast.
You know, those are some hot days coming up, but I'm just grateful that I don't see any triple digits up there.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything record-breaking, but it will feel like those dog days of summer out there.
All right, thank you, Jason. Now, these high summer temperatures aren't only potentially harmful to your physical health, extremely hot days can also lead to mental distress. Psychologists say extreme heat puts a strain on the body, which can make a person feel stressed, irritable, depressed, or anxious. To halt heat from taking a toll on your mental health, experts say to first recognize what's happening, then regulate your body temperature so you can feel calmer and find good ways to get good quality sleep.
Anything that is going to help to cool down your bedroom is going to be a game changer for your sleep and your mood during the heat.
The CDC says young children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing mental health or other chronic conditions are more vulnerable to the effects of heat. So it's very important to check on them often on those extremely hot days. Now to a quick recall alert, Mars Pet Care US is recalling 2 lots of Pedigree canned high-protein chopped chicken and duck-flavored dog food. The FDA says the products could contain pieces of metal or plastic. Now there are no reports of pet injuries so far. Impacted owners should contact Pedigree for a replacement. And Toyota says it's shifting most production of its Tacoma pickup from Mexico to Texas. The automaker plans to invest $3.6 billion to double the size of its San Antonio plant. Toyota says the transition will take about 4 years and could create 2,000 new jobs. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, a new AI policy by Meta is sparking concerns over privacy. The warning for Instagram users after the break. And also coming up, we're getting you ready for Art Fair on the Square that's happening this weekend. But first, your morning motivational quote today is from American poet Walt Whitman. He says, "Do anything, but let it produce joy." We'll be right back on Weekend Mornings.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. We've got another consumer alert this morning. Instagram users, you might want to check your account. Meta is launching a new AI tool that's prompting privacy concerns. The new imaging tool called Muse could make you more vulnerable to deep fakes. If you have a public Instagram account, Muse allows other Instagram users to use your photo to make AI images without you giving explicit approval or even knowing about it. So if you're on Instagram and you do not want this, be sure to change your settings to opt out. And happening today, the 68th Art Fair on the Square is returning to the Capitol. More than 300 artists are expected to participate in the event, with nearly 100,000 people expected to attend. The fair will also feature 24 different food vendors. To make room for the fair, the Dane County Farmers Market is now moved to Breeze Stevens Field today, Saturday. So the special market will be open from 7 a.m. to noon today and tomorrow. And if you're looking to get outside today, you're in luck because Jason is tracking a wonderful weekend for us.
Yeah, we got blessed with this weekend forecast. It's going to be summery, up in those mid 80s, but plenty of sunshine, comfortable dew points. It's going to be great out there. Some patchy fogs possible in those mornings. That's already starting to burn off today, but summer heat in for next week. So looking at our 10-day forecast, it's going to be 86. Those gorgeous days today, if you're going to be out there for art fair on the square, going to be great, but grab that hat, grab that sunscreen. That UV is going to be high. Don't want you getting sunburnt out there. And then similar story Sunday, another great day. But as we move into next week, alert days, we're going to have temperatures in those 90s, dew points nearing 70, so it's going to feel like those upper 90s out there for Monday and Tuesday especially. Then as we go into the end of next week, we could have some rain chances that help to break down that heat a little bit. Similar story out in La Crosse. You guys have the nice weekend and then the hot stretch coming up for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week.
All right, thanks, Jason. Behind me is a look outside your weather window. It's beautiful. Coming up after the break, we've got more headlines, starting with an update out of Fitchburg after this week's shooting. And here's a look at last night's winning numbers. Keep it here. You're watching Weekend Mornings. Right now at 8:30, new arrests from the Fitchburg shooting. Thursday, we bring you the update.
And I'm tracking a great weekend forecast, plus I'll let you know how hot it gets next week.
And new data is showing Wisconsin's fastest growing job sector, what this means for consumers and the future of Wisconsin. Good morning, happy Saturday, and thanks for waking up with us. You're watching Weekend Mornings. I'm your anchor, Michelle Renee Quinn.
And I'm meteorologist Jason Carlson.
It's Saturday, July 11th, and Jason, you've got a wonderful weekend ahead. I'm looking out that side at that camera. You guys have to take a look. It's beautiful. What do they need to know?
It's going to be gorgeous out there. There's not much you need to know. If you went outside not knowing anything, you just say, oh, it's going to be a great day. And it's going to stay that way this entire day. 70 as you walk outside now at the Mallards Stadium. A light breeze out of the north. We're going to see that fog start to burn on off. It's getting better out there. Prairie du Chien, your last spot with fog there in the Wisconsin River Valley, but that'll be improving, and by the time you get outside, get everything ready, it'll probably be gone. So a great day out there. That fog's gone. It's 86 degrees for your high. It's going to be mostly sunny almost the entire day. A similar story Sunday, another repeat. It's going to be 87, a touch warmer. We'll see that heat start to build as we go off towards the end of the week. I'll let you guys know just how hot it gets coming up soon.
All right, thank you. And we begin with continuing coverage out of Fitchburg. 3 people have been arrested in connection to the shooting Thursday night. A 28-year-old man faces multiple charges, including second-degree reckless injury and possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. 2 other men have been arrested for parole and probation violations. Police were called to an apartment building on Pheasant Ridge Trail. They found a man in the street with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital and has since been released. Officers learned the suspected shooter was in a nearby apartment. As they approached, they heard another gunshot inside. 3 men were removed from the apartment and arrested. Police add that additional charges are possible as this investigation is still ongoing. Now to an update. Former Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan will not serve prison time or probation. A judge ordered her to pay a $5,000 fine instead. Now, a jury found Dugan guilty last year of felony obstruction after prosecutors said she helped a man avoid federal immigration agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Her lawyers argued that during her trial, the Trump administration sought to crush her in an effort to ensure judicial compliance with the ICE strategy of targeting immigrants. The sentencing judge considered Dugan's otherwise law-abiding life before issuing the fine.
She's lost so much throughout this process. The collateral consequences to her were great, and we appreciate that the judge took that into consideration whenever he sentenced her to a fine only in this case.
Dugan's attorneys say they plan to appeal her conviction. And right now, a family is in mourning after a car hit and killed 8-year-old Brayla Valenza. Now, the crash happened at the McFarland Bicycle Crossing near North Peninsula Way and Broad Street Wednesday. Our crew saw McFarland Police and Fire respond to the scene where officials temporarily closed Holscher Road from County Highway A to B. She was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and later died. Family told News 3 Now that Brayla's older brother witnessed the crash. Police have not released further information about the driver involved. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley dropped out of the race for governor this week. Crowley announced his decision, saying he's proud of the campaign he ran, but it became clear he would not win the Democratic nomination. Crowley did not endorse another candidate in the primary. That leaves 5 Democrats still vying for the party's nomination. Crowley will remain in his role as Milwaukee County Executive. And if you have been affected by these recent storms and flooding, FEMA wants you to know help is now available. The important thing to know is whether you rent or own your home, you may be eligible for disaster assistance. Now that would cover immediate needs and physical damage. Even if you have insurance, don't wait for your settlement. Apply with FEMA right away. You can apply online, in person, or by calling the FEMA helpline. Now, if you'll be driving downtown this weekend, you'll want to plan ahead. The city of Madison has closed a few streets for Fête des Marquettes. South Ingersoll Street between East Main and East Wilson is closed and will reopen at 9 o'clock Monday morning. South Brearley Street between East Main and the Capital City Trail is also closed. Now, that stretch is expected to reopen by 10 tomorrow, Sunday night. Now at La Fête des Marquettes, one stage is turning a neighborhood street into an all-out dance party. The Moon Stage, part of the festival's Musique Electronique dance area, is a festival within a festival. Now crews from the DIY collective Remain in Night spent days building this immersive space with towering speakers, colorful lights, and art that transforms the blocks between East Main and Willie Street into a late-night club under the stars.
Honestly, sitting back at the dance floor at like peak hours and just seeing everybody just dancing and like having the time of their life, it's such a rewarding experience. It's all a fundraiser for Wilmar Neighborhood Center, and it's just like such a beautiful thing to have in the middle of the neighborhood for free during the day. It's really special.
La Fête des Marquettes runs from now until Sunday with world-class DJs, live bands, local food and drinks, and activities for kids and adults alike. Now, I know you said it was beautiful, so I think they're in luck as the festival continues today and tomorrow.
Yeah, they're in luck. I'm a little jealous. I work bright and early on the weekend, so I can't go
I'm right there with you. I'm right here with you, brother. Well, we'll have to get out there a little early maybe next year.
Yeah,
figure it out.
If you're going out early, it's still going to be fantastic, and that'll stay throughout this night. So as we plan your Saturday, it's going to start off around 70 and then warm on up into those mid-80s as we get towards 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and it'll stay nice and clear into tonight if you're going to be out there for the electronique dance floor. As we go into the next week, it's going to be an alert day. We got Monday through Wednesday. We're going to have that heat build on in. We're going to have temperatures in those 90s, and it's going to feel like mid to upper 90s. Not quite as humid as our last bout of heat, but still something to be aware of as we go into next week. Here's those temperatures. We got that summery weekend, but those dew points climb slightly as we move into Monday and Tuesday. That's when we're going to have those highest feels like temperatures. And it's going to be a dry one out there. No rain chances, it looks like, till maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So a dry, summery week. Welcome to the dog days of summer, folks.
All right. Thank you, Jason. We've got a nice, cool Sunday, Saturday ahead. So we can hold off a little bit on Tuesday's temperatures, but might have to crank the AC a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to have to crank the AC, maybe get to the pool.
Definitely the pool. Always the pool. Big advocate of the pool. Thanks, Jason. Now, as these summer temperatures climb, many are wondering about that magic number, so to speak, to set your thermostat to stay cool while not burning through all of your cash. Now, sustainable energy experts say the most optimal setting is between 75 and 76 degrees, adding that what you should not do is completely turn off the AC when you leave. Experts say the best balance for comfort and energy savings is to raise the thermostat just a few degrees while you're away, rather than shutting the system off completely.
Now, when your air conditioner is working, it's condensing the water out of the air inside of your house, and that, so that's really important as well in terms of comfort, right? And so that's another reason not to just shut off your air conditioner if you can help it.
The Department of Energy says adjusting your thermostat by 7 to 10 degrees for just 8 hours a day can save up to 10% a year on heating and cooling. And still ahead on Weekend Morning, Sports Director Andrew Banstra takes us to Lake Tahoe for the American Century Championship. Plus, coming up in your consumer news, what a new report shows is changing when it comes to the leading workforce of Wisconsin. But meteorologist Jason Carlson will have your full forecast before that. You're watching Weekend Mornings. Keep it here.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. I'm passing it right on over to Sports Director Andrew Banstra. He's got your morning sports fix.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS.
Continuity is a forgotten art in college sports, and for Wisconsin men's basketball, of course, the headline this offseason is that John Blackwell transferred to Duke. But maybe overlooked is how good of a job Greg Gard did at retaining the rest of his core. Nolan Winter leads that charge and now is doing the work to make sure that come fall, his Badgers are ready.
Anytime you can have retention, I think, is always a benefit, right? And especially in this era, you want to have as many as possible back for the next year, and that helps, I think, link everybody together. That core group that is back, the retention piece is still the glue that helps bond everything together.
Obviously, most important is building that chemistry off the court, getting to know everyone, making sure everyone likes everyone. Like that's what we're doing. Is we're all together all the time. We're going to dinners together. We're doing all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I think that's the most important thing.
And check this out, Micah Potter is headed to Portland. The former Badger basketball standout, fresh off a career year with the Indiana Pacers, was claimed off waivers by the Portland Trailblazers. Potter now entering his 6th NBA season. And it is that time of year, the American Century Championship, where the biggest celebrities and former athletes and current athletes too, as Steph Curry, play in a golf tournament at Lake Tahoe. The American Century Championship, of course, one of those events on the calendar that's so much fun. And last year, Joe Pavelski, whose resume is already stacked, a national champion at Wisconsin men's hockey, a Hockey Hall of Famer after a 20-year career in the NHL. Well, he added an American Century Championship title to his resume, pocketing $750,000 and a whole lot of bragging rights.
Played high school golf and played in one state open, so I had a little bit of tournament stuff, but when you get out there, it's kind of a different animal.
And this event, of course, all about having fun. Jason Kelsey here being sacked by A.J. Hawk, but Pavelski, he means business, leaving his home Madison to make more moves in the golf world. Through 17, Pavs was in 3rd place, competing with the likes of Romo, Curry, and Devontae Adams. And for Joe, how about that second shot on the par 5 18th? He sticks it awfully close and sinks the eagle putt through one day, the defending champion firmly in 1st place. And here in Madison, the qualifying round is officially over for News 3 Now's $1 million hole-in-one challenge. And look at that leaderboard. Logan Moore hit a hole-in-one. The top 20 contestants head to today's championship round of I-10's Golfland. And if someone hits a hole-in-one today, they'll go home with that $1 million. Elsewhere on the links, Jerry Kelly is cooking at the Colleague Companies Championship, which is one of the majors on the Senior PGA Tour. Now, Kelly has won this major before and had the lead heading into day 2, but slipped a little bit yesterday. He played well, all things told, birdieing 3 times, including here on 11. He heads into the weekend, the Madison native tied for 2nd, 1 shot back of the lead. And if you're wondering why I didn't mention the Brewers, well, they were rained out last night. They'll play a doubleheader today, 11:05 and 3:05 in Pittsburgh. That's your morning sports fix. Have a wonderful weekend.
And if you're heading out for that hole-in-one challenge today, we got a great on-the-green forecast for you guys. 86, a light breeze this afternoon might be the best odds you have for that hole-in-one on a day like today. But as we move into next week, we're seeing alert days come on back. We're going to see feels like temperatures up in those mid to upper 90s as we see those temperatures climb into the 90s. And here's those temperatures. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend, a little bit summery, might be a little too warm for some of your guys' likings, but it's July. You got to deal with this warmth. But we're getting into that a little bit stronger heat as we go into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll see dew points click up a little bit, and we'll see feels like temperatures approaching 100, hopefully staying below 100, that 100 mark as we push off into next week. For that heat risk, it's not going to be quite as severe as last heat wave for 2 reasons. Like I said, the dew point's going to be lower, and we'll see those overnight temperatures get down near 70, so we won't have that sustained warmth that really builds on top of itself. So that heat risk is still there. You do want to take precautions, alter your activities, bring extra water. but not quite extreme like we saw a couple weeks ago. And that heat risk stays into Tuesday, and by Wednesday it starts to get out of that moderate category more into that minor category. And that's going to be due to this heat dome building on in. So it's moving out of the western U.S. into the northern part of the U.S., and that's going to cause triple-digit temperatures off in Montana. They're facing some all-time records in some of their cities. They're going to be up in those 110s. Here in Wisconsin, though, we're going to be in those 90s, so nothing record-breaking here, and it's going to be drier air as that clockwise flow around that low-pressure system brings us Canadian air instead of that Gulf humid, sticky air that we saw with last heat outbreak. So Art Fair on the Square, if you're heading down there, it's going to be great outside. 86 for your afternoon, and it's going to stay sunny all day. So a great day out there if you're heading out. For your future cast, maybe some stray showers off towards the Eau Claire, La Crosse area. And as we push towards Sunday, a nice night, maybe leave your windows open, gets up into those mid-80s for your Sunday. And then for Monday, that's when it really gets hot, especially out towards La Crosse. Could be up in those mid to upper 90s for you folks out there. For that 10-day forecast out in La Crosse, maybe warmer for your Monday. We'll be tracking that. A nice weekend, though, before we get too hot. And then here in Madison, similar story as it gets hot going into next week, 90s, and then as we move into the end of next week, some storm chances start to lower that heat a little bit.
All right, Jason, thank you. In consumer news, a report from Forward Analytics finds that Wisconsin's workforce has reached a tipping point. Healthcare and social assistance professions are surpassing manufacturing as the state's largest employment sector for the first time. Now, Wisconsin has been defined by manufacturing jobs for generations, but this new analysis shows healthcare rising is not about panic, but preparation as our economy shifts from factories to healthcare. The state has lost about 100,000 manufacturing jobs since 2001, and that had been leading by nearly 250,000. While manufacturing is still a heavy hitter, supporting nearly 460,000 workers with an estimated 15% of Wisconsin's total economy, what's really grown is healthcare and social assistance. It's added about 143,000 jobs since 2001. Higher paid work in hospitals and clinics is up, but the fastest growth is in lower wage social assistance jobs like personal care and support services. Overall, while Wisconsin has added jobs, it's at less than half the national pace, putting pressure on communities that rely on both factory paychecks and healthcare workers. Now, the report also warns Wisconsin's population is aging faster than the nation, meaning demand for senior care is rising. So for consumers, this shift means more opportunities in health and caregiving fields, but it also raises questions about wages, staffing, and care quality as Wisconsin gets older. If you're interested in learning more, you can find this article attached to the story on channel3000.com. And I do have a full link to the tipping point report from Forward Analytics. Now, this all comes as another new report released this week shows Wisconsin has the most 5-star rated hospitals in the nation. Becker's Hospital Review shows 44 hospitals, including the Madison VA, Stoughton Hospital, Upland Hills Health in Dodgeville were accommodating. In the Cool Lee region, Mayo Clinic Health System in Eau Claire was up there as well. Now, the report finds that most Wisconsin nurses focus heavily on their patients, which helped lead to this high rating. Hospital loan forgiveness programs also increased by 26% in 2024, as well as healthcare employee wages. Still ahead, we check back in with meteorologist Jason Carlson here to help you plan your day. But first, if you've got a little kid turning 3 soon, let us know. We'd love to share their picture and wish them a happy birthday on TV. We're back after the break.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. Now we've got a beautiful day ahead of us, beautiful day tomorrow. I mean, you've got this day planner ready to go.
Yeah, we had a beautiful day yesterday too, so we're on a nice little streak here. We got a nice day today though, planning that out. It's gonna be very nice as you walk out the door. Make sure to grab those sunglasses though, as it's gonna be sunny nearly all day. Maybe some patchy clouds building in as you go towards this afternoon, but a fantastic day out there. Same story for your Sunday, but a little bit hotter. This is out there for La Crosse. You guys could be up near 90 for your Sunday, so a little bit warmer, and we'll see that heat continue to build. But if you're heading to the beach to escape that heat, you're in business. All of the Madison area beaches are open, according to lakeforecast.org. So it's looking pretty good if you want to get down to the water, and we'll need that as this heat dome starts to build on in going into next week. That'll stick around with us, keeping us hot, dry, and sunny. So it's going to feel summery, won't be humid, it'll just be hot out there as we go towards Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. We'll see those temperatures reaching those 90s.
All right, we will prepare. Thank you, Jason. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, we've got the motivation you've been waiting for, plus today's playlist pick honoring a lost hero. My info's on the screen now. You know what to do and how to send me a song. We'll be right back on Weekend Mornings.
You're watching Weekend Mornings.
Welcome back. This morning we're remembering Bonnie Tyler, who passed away Wednesday. You're listening to her song, Holding Out for a Hero. You can create a weekend playlist with us by sending me a song with the subject playlist pick to mrquinn@wisc-tv.com or at Michelle Renee Quinn TV on Facebook, and tune in on Weekend Mornings to hear your song. And that is just it's just a good one. It's just a really, really good one.
It makes me want a hero, but I don't even think I need a hero for anything.
Oh, well, you don't have to hold out then.
Yeah, might need a hero for the heat coming up this week, but we have great weather before then. We're going to have a fantastic summer weekend, 86 and 87 for your Saturday and Sunday with a lot of sunshine. But as we move into next week, we got 90s coming back. Those feels like temperatures are going to get close to those triple digits, so watch out for that alert day heat to start this week.
And now your morning motivational quote is from American poet Walt Whitman. He says, "Do anything, but let it produce joy."
Thanks for watching Weekend Mornings.
Up next is Lucky Dog Reunions, and our next newscast is at 6 p.m.
And you can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.
Have a great weekend.
And be sure to take advantage of this beautiful day ahead.